Alright guys, said I'd make you a video how to get up a good lather, so here it is. Normally I just let this sit while I'm in the shower, just run it on slow hot water. But you know, about 2 minutes worth, it's fine till it's so you know it's well saturated. Then I just get rid of the excess, and after a while you'll figure out like just about how much you should flick it to get the amount of moisture you need off of it. Now I'm gonna out of the tub, grab a little dollops, a little bit. That's actually gonna be well more than enough, at least for one shave. Well, if you're doing your face, if you got other plans, up to you. Yeah, I'll just wipe it off. Use the brush, stick it in there. Might even let it sit for a sec too. If you have any pre-shave oil or anything like that, you can put it on now while it's sitting in there. Normally I just like to do it because it kind of like helps melt it a bit. And you still see, yeah, there's definitely moisture because I didn't flick it all away. I just kind of gave it a good whack to get as much as I can out. And here, let me flip this around so you guys can see a little bit better. I don't know how the lighting's coming in. But I'm going to start doing my lather circles small. At first, just in the bottom half of the bowl. And then once it starts picking up, then I'm really going to start doing like full circles. And what you can do is rotate the bowl as well. I'm not forcing it in there to where it's like starting to, you know, to where the hairs are spreading. I'm actually just lightly whisking just the top. So it's like, you know, like if you're just sweeping nuts and bolts or something, or light dust, so you don't really press hard. And one of the things I'm doing is I'm actually feeling to see how slippery it is as it is going across the inside of the bowl, because that really helps me determine if it's moist enough, or if there's too much water or not enough. Having too much, you just generally won't get a really good foam. This is looking really great. But if there's too much, it would still be very soupy, and you want to avoid that. If it's too dry and there's not enough water, that's a little bit harder to tell at first, but you'll start getting like soft peaks, but they'll be really hard and they'll actually stand up more. You see how like those are just kind of like falling back down because of gravity? That's looking pretty good. And what'll happen is you'll also be able to, the worst part is you'll be able to tell there's not enough water in your lather. If when you're shaving and you put the lather on your face, and by the time you get to the other side of your face, if it's starting to flake off, that will happen and it'll cause a lot of discomfort. But I don't know why I'm still whipping this or lathering this, because it was already done a while ago. But you can see what'll happen. There you see how that works. Now, if you do end up having not enough water, or if it's too dry, one of the tricks you can do to add moisture, you could actually pour it in there, but you don't want to add that much. But what I would do, there's two tricks to this, and sometimes you don't even need to wet your hands, because like let's say you know you have enough in there, you know you have the right moisture, but for some reason it's just not lathering. Well, don't wet your hand, but this is what I do to add moisture. This is two tricks in one. Get your hand a little moist, grab it from here, and just plop. And this will actually give you a better indication of just how much lather you make. I'm just going to rinse my hand off. I'm not going to get any moisture in there, or no water in there. And you can see it's kind of a lot more, but oh yeah. I don't think I overdid it, but you can see how much it's actually making and in use, which is kind of a lot. Which is why I said, even with that little bit that I did, I knew how much it was going to make. But yeah. And, you know, while you're lathering, you can also turn your bowl. And generally, when I start doing it, I'm actually doing more to the sides and collecting what's in the bottom corner. And I'm rotating it counterclockwise, or, you know, whatever, if you're the opposite, if you're good with Your hands, you can do it clockwise as well. Yeah, and there you go. So yeah, I made that much. Let me show you. Oh, all that good lather gone. Son of a bitch. Let me show you. That was with shaving cream. That was Taylor Bonds, Old Bonds Street Sandalwood. Yeah, that's definitely. Yeah, that's sandalwood. I can smell it. Let me show you from start to finish. I will do shaving soap, which is a little bit different in case you ever come across it. I know Trade got a free sample thing, but it's Colonel Conk's glycerin soap. So in this case, I want this at first. All right, so I soak my brush same as normal. In this one, I'm going to use, for an example, the Parasso white, which is oats and gotta look now. 1 sec. Oats and doesn't say here. It's oats and green tea, if I remember correctly. Or yeah. So yeah, brush already has the correct moisture. I let it soak. I'm gonna grab that. If you notice, those are boar hair brushes. No, I didn't go ginger in certain areas, and that's why it's in there. But I'm gonna do it straight from the container that the shaving soap comes in. So that's one thing you want to be aware of. If you buy a shaving soap, make sure it has a decent container, unless you can pull it out like a puck and put it in something else. Then like you could actually do it directly from your scuttle, but I don't know. I usually go from one to the other, but with Parasso, they make it so you can actually do it right in the container. And I'm just kind of not really doing a lather thing. I'm just swirling it around, and I really want to get the soap just kind of caked in there and nice, just so I have enough of it, because after this is going to be a good example of that trick I showed you. Yeah, that's kind of good. Yeah, that's actually really good. All right, so I already know I need more, but I got to show you guys. So start off in a little corner, or the small circles at the bottom. And as you can tell, it's really not doing much. And I am going to need some water. And sometimes this will happen, like I said, even with the shaving cream. This is just something I always get when I do shaving soap. So, moisten my hand. Gonna need more water than that too, but I keep a good amount on there, and just let it ooze out. And then anything on my hand, I'll conserve with the brush. Alright, and that's what I end up squeezing out. Decent amount. Alright. Now, as you can tell, I got moisture in there. And start lathering it up. It's a little bit harder to do with me lurching over the camera, so I apologize. This may actually take a little bit longer than normal. Let's go into some full circles here. You can see the lather's kind of building up. And it's not doing it that well. And it is still very dry. Like I said, take a look. See the peaks kind of standing up. It's close, but not quite. And for this one, I'm using my small tweezerman. It's not that. It's, you know what, for beginner, I love it actually. It works great for the bowls. And if you, I don't know, if you want to do more of a mug thing, I'll show you later. I'll show you I have a board brush that's a little bit longer. Alright, I need one more water. Actually, that's doing pretty good. I think it just needs to be whipped a bit more. Alright, and oops. Kind of loud when I hit the shaving bowl. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do it with it. You see my technique on how to do it, so let me just bring this up a bit. Take it off camera. Look at my crummy sink. And there we go. Yeah, in this case I made about a good amount. Still a bit dry, probably a little bit more water. But yeah, you can see how much it's going to make. That is still more than enough for one shave. That's like 4 passes right there across my face. Yeah. Just there we go. If you're worried about, oh, how much water did I just add? Don't worry, don't do it like that either. Not until you get a really good idea of just how much water is needed. But if you stick with the way I showed you, especially with those Parker brushes I sent both you guys, and you get used to just flicking out the water, and then slowly adding it the way I showed you, that'll probably be a better way to get an idea of just how much water you should be adding for your lather. And there we go. So we got enough, feels good, and it's all set. Smells great too. All right, if you got any questions, just let me know. That's it. So just remember, when you start off, start in a small area until it builds up. Then once it builds up, from there, exploit it all out. But you have the shaving cream, which makes it a lot easier, especially in hard water, which I have, and it makes using shaving soap a little bit more difficult. As you can see, the kind of like the trouble I went through just to do this. And you can tell just exactly how hard my water is by looking at, yeah, looking at the deposits. All right. Shame to waste all this. God damn, maybe I should shave right now.